They don't think you could do it, but tell you to try when they talk. All I hope had to keep it alive. Spend a day in the Bronx, but you wouldn't survive. Can be low when I pop out, they know I've arrived. I go have conversations with Zoe, he gon' tell me pull up and come say what you know. I've been up, I can count all them days in a row. We don't say what we do, we be making the show. They say I'll be
the voice of the Bronx. We have Bronx name, but the guys are out here. Can I get a yeah?
Leave them all right where they at. Try to diss me, I bet I don't even react. Put a show on, I bet you somebody gon' I pick me a book up and drink me some water, invest in the stock. All
right, peace and love, world. Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Zoe. Today's a pretty cool day. We're in the house with Marley today. You know, we're in a dungeon. This podcast is a dungeon today.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Introduce yourself to the world.
I'm good. Hi, everybody. I'm Mistress Marley. I'm a pro financial dominatrix here in Brooklyn.
Right.
I'm a kink educator. I throw play parties for Black people. Just all around businesswoman, just in the freaky world, as people like to call it.
Right. I see you have a table today.
Yes, I have my human furniture, Tati.
Yeah.
Tati is my sub, so he pretty much serves me all the time, whether it's cleaning my house, running my errands, being there for my content, being there for my events, whatever it is. Tati is my own sub, so I own him.
Right. Tati, I appreciate you turning the other way. You know what I'm saying? I know you were doing your thing, but you know, the fans on that side appreciate you more. You know? But I want to tell a story about how I met Tati.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? So first time I met you, I didn't know I was gonna meet you that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the lobby with Tati, right? And we just chopping it up, you know, because I'm there early, he's there early, so you know there's no doorman after 7, so you want to wait for your guests if you're early and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we just chopping it up. And he's like, yo, I work, I do music, you know, and I'm into some other things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what made him say that. But I was like, all right, that's what's up, bro. You know what I mean? Like, word, this is what I do. Who you here with? I'm here to support a friend, this, that, and the third. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
After Dirty Street Confessions finished, after I finished before you guys that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I popped my head in. And Tati's on the ground. And he's like, yo, what up, Lorenzo? I'm like, huh? I'm like, oh, you homie from the lobby. This the extra shit you was talking about. You know what I mean? And I seen him there, man, working hard, doing what you got to do, man.
Yeah, you never know how you're going to meet people or what sense you're going to meet them in. New York is a crazy place.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Man. So let me introduce you to the world correctly, you know what I mean? We got Miss Marley, public figure, financial dom. She's been featured in New York Times, Brooklyn Magazine. She's the founder of Dom in the City, Orgasm Experience.
Mm-hmm.
Pink Matrix.
Yes.
Right? And she's a mistress.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Nice little rollout, right?
Yeah. I like how you did that.
No, listen, I'm here. This is about you today, not me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just want to tell your story and have fun and tell the world something great.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? So where did you grow up?
So I grew up in a small town in North Carolina called Greenville, North Carolina.
Right.
But I went to school in Raleigh.
Okay.
So I went to North Carolina Central, so HBCU.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people know that I went there from when I went viral for walking the white man on the leash there at homecoming.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of homecoming.
Right.
So grew up in a pretty big family, small town. I was always that girl in school that was always just different, wearing different stuff, like just not wanting to be part of the crowd.
Right.
And then I came here to New York later for grad school and just ended up staying and pretty much like taking over.
Right.
Yeah.
How was middle school?
Middle school? I was just, to myself. I was finding myself then as in like knowing what I wanted. I think early on, I just knew I didn't want to be part of the crowd. So like peer pressure was not a thing for me.
Right.
Like I was not one of those kids that was like, oh, everybody else is doing it, so let me go do it. Or everybody's going to so-and-so sleepover, I'm going to go too. I was like, they going to the sleepover, I don't want to go.
Right.
I'd rather do something else.
Right.
So I've always known who I was since I was a little girl.
Right.
Yeah.
How was high school?
High school was more so like independent. Had my friend group, but I was really more so about being like a leader. So like any type of club I could join where I could be like the leader, the president, whatever it is, I wanted to do that. Like I always took on leadership roles and I liked bossing people around.
Right.
But I didn't realize I liked bossing people around until I really got into this shit. So I was like, oh, now I see from back in high school, people call me bossy, but I was just destined to just be in control.
Right.
So it works out.
Are your feet comfortable?
Very,
Right.
very.
I love that for you.
Yeah, I love it for me too.
Right. So you end up going to an HBCU.
hmm
How was that experience?
It was an amazing experience because middle school and high school, I went to school in like a very country town. There's a lot of white people.
Right.
So when I went to HBCU, I always was that kid. Like, so in high school, I did a whole like school report on Spike Lee.
Tough.
And I've always been about Black Power. I remember one time we were saying, you know, they used to make us say the Pledge of Allegiance in school. I refused to stand up, and I got like in school suspension for that or whatever because I was like, this country not for us or whatever.
Right.
So going to a HBCU really like helped me step into that, and I went there for fashion design. So for me, like fashion was always my passion. So I was able to go there, learn that stuff, like learn a whole different, you know, ways. But also too in college, I came more into my sexuality
Right.
and who I was as a woman.
Right.
Because in middle school and high school, I was a little tomboyish. I like to wear little, like, you know, clothes that can be for both men and women, more baggy stuff. But then when I got in college, I started dressing more tighter stuff and, like, really finding my power as a woman. Yeah.
Right. Did you go to college a virgin?
You said what, sorry?
Did you go to college a virgin?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So I lost my virginity in high school, but after that, I only had, like, sex once because I hated it.
Right.
So I was like, I didn't understand why people were liking it. Like, what is about this that people like? But when I got to college, that's when I was like, okay, I'm taking more control of what I actually like in my sexuality and what I like during sex.
Right.
And that's when I was like, oh, this is lit. This is, I get it. Yeah.
So what was it that changed about your sexual experience that you're like, I like this?
Me taking more control and speaking up.
Right.
Being more like adventurous in the bedroom. Like I feel like in college, like a lot of girls was just having sex, not really communicating with their partner what they really like. Whereas with my partners, not only was I having sex, I was putting on like striptease performances for them, and like I would like to set the mood and stuff. And I'm like 19 years old, like doing all this. Like,
what did you do? Did you have a single? Did you have a roommate?
So my freshman year, I had a roommate, so not much was going on there, and I had a boyfriend the whole year, so it was whatever. But my sophomore year, that's when when we moved up, we had like our own separate room, so we still were like in a general area.
You guys had a
quarter, quad, but our own room. So like my roommate pretty much knew like, oh shit, when she got that music going over there, something going on.
What was playing?
So like I like a lot of old school stuff. So it would be like I'll be playing like old school like Usher. I'll be playing like I like 70s stuff, so I'll be playing like Rick James. Like I would just be playing stuff that I felt like was just real, just sexy to me. Like I'm very visual when it comes to my sexual energy, you know? So like I have to set the scene.
Right. Were guys going to class the next day? Like
I don't
feel
know.
like after that experience, you just like you don't go
I don't
to school
know.
the next day, right?
Maybe they was, maybe they wasn't. Maybe I should ask some of them. I don't know.
You might want to do like I mean, I don't know if that's that many, but a little docuseries.
Yeah,
like how was your experience?
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know if I was them, I'd be like, yo, you see her, bro? Yeah. remember yeah, that's me.
Yo, I was changing niggas' lives. I'm pretty sure.
I believe that. So then, when does it go to the next level? Were you still in school? So like, all right, between freshman and senior year, what changes did you see within yourself?
I was just taking more like chances and doing more things that were just like that other people would look down on. So I'm an Aquarius, so naturally we don't care about judgment.
Right.
You could look me in my face right now and say the most horrible shit about me. I'm going to look at you and say, that's great. But my junior year, going into my senior year, I auditioned for a strip club. I was a stripper for a little bit during school. So that opened me up to a whole nother world of like, okay, not only are men admiring me and like the way I look, but I'm getting paid for it. And it's a whole different culture. But I'm also learning at that same time of how harsh that culture is too.
Right.
So like I'm putting in like harsh situations where I'm like, okay, I have to grow up. I have to be like a big girl now, whatever. Right. So I didn't really know much about BDSM. Like BDSM and the dominatrix stuff did not come until I moved here to New York. I didn't even know what that world looked like then. You couldn't even tell me that I was doing sex work then. I was just saying I'm a stripper, you know, every now and then. Right. So that's pretty much how that was. Just taking more chances throughout the years.
Right. Were you ever doing like the hot candle? Like
no, never did that. Yeah. Never did that. I would see that stuff in like movies or whatever, but I always saw it as like a funny thing. Like, like it's funny. Like, what's the movie with the Wayans brothers? Don't be a menace.
That's
so I was like, that shit funny to me. Like, I never thought like people was actually liking that. Right. So no, I never did that.
Right.
Yeah.
When did you realize you had so much power over men?
The first time I realized I had power over men was I was working here in New York. I was a hostess for a swingers club. I was on Craigslist just looking for jobs, just trying to make some extra money. And I saw like hostess for swingers club. And I was, at the time, I didn't know what a swingers club was. I was like, they just need a hostess, easy money. I went, got the job, and they just needed me really to go around and refill people's champagne and make sure people are good and if they need towels and stuff like that. And I realized the power I had when there was this older guy that walked in there, and he was with another woman when he came. But I remember he was just talking to me all night. And he was just like staring at me. Like every word I was saying, he was hanging on to. And me, I just saw it as work. But he was still with this woman, but he still had all his attention on me. And I was just being myself. And I remember I left for like a short vacation and came back. And he was there that night. And he was like, I've been looking for you the whole time. Like, I've been coming back every week, asking everybody, like, where are you at? And the girls I was working with at the time was pretty much being haters. They told him, like, we don't got her number. Mind you, they had my number. Like, that's how we talked about shifts and stuff.
Right.
But they even saw the power, and like they knew this man had so much money and power. Like he was very popular in the club that when they saw that I had his attention, they were kind of like, you know, pretty much how she got his attention. Like she quiet, she keep herself, she don't really say much. She come in and work or whatever. Like a lot of people think, a lot of women see power as I have to be all over him. I have to be throwing myself at him. Like that's not what that is. Power is just being able to walk in a place and just be yourself or just be there. And, you know, men just wanting to give me whatever I want, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Financial domination.
Mm-hmm.
How do we define that?
So financial domination, you'll see a lot of people call it FinDom. It's a psychological kink that involves controlling a man's wallet or a woman, because some fin subs can be women. It's not a lot of them out there that are, but there are some out there. And pretty much you're just dominating and you're controlling their wallet, their money, their finances. They want to give to you. They get off by giving you money, whether they're going to ever meet you, not meet you, whether they're going to have like a virtual session, whatever it is. That's pretty much what it is.
Right. Is it like offering in church?
You know, we could look at it that way. Like,
Okay.
you know, Church of Marley, give me some
Right.
offerings or whatever.
Listen, we're going to put that out there now. You know what I'm saying? But listen, quick little drop.
Yeah.
I know y'all see the drip, right? Conversation with Zoe, Peace and Love World Edition. First ever merch drop out here. We lit now.
Period.
We got merch now. We
Period.
got publishers now. You know what I mean? We got House of Marley now.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? We doing good now. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing good, but we in big motion.
You got to take it up.
If you need something, get yourself some motion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Protect your online identity,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
That's just something that's big being a sex worker in general.
Right.
So for those that don't know, what I do is consider sex work. So sex work does not always involve penetration or actual sex, but it's what it is. You're selling a fantasy of sex and all those different things. So we have to really protect ourselves out here because no one's protecting us. There's no laws that really protect us if we're harmed. If I'm in a session or whatever and someone tries to harm me, I can't really contact the police because in the end, everything's going to be turned on me for doing the type of work I'm doing. But we have to protect our identity in a sense of some people in this industry have like regular jobs. They have 9 to 5s. They might have kids, families, like stuff where they don't want to be identified online.
Right.
Me personally, I'm all out there. My face is out there. This is my job. This is my full-time job. I work for myself. So protecting your online identity is just, you know, making sure the email addresses you're using aren't something that can be easily traced. If you're someone that doesn't want your face out there, you'll see some of us doms might wear masks or just do stuff from the neck down. It's just really keeping you safe. Keeping yourself safe online.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How do you want your identity to be out there?
I like how it's out there now. I think my biggest thing is just bringing positivity to a community that a lot of people think is weird or that they don't understand, especially in the Black community. That's why I'm very big on teaching like other Black women how to step into this. Whether they be a financial dominatrix or not, some Black women just want to learn how to be dominant in their lives, period. So the way I always want my identity out there is in a positive light, showing people that I'm getting money, teaching other people how to get money, sticking to who I am, not changing for anybody, not changing like my morals or anything for anybody. Pretty much that's how I like to be out there.
How much money do you make today?
So today was a slow day for me.
Right.
So today I did 6K, but that's a slow day.
Right.
And I say that's a slow day because I've had days upward of 10K or more. I've had even slower days sometimes of where I've only made $500. So like the thing about this industry is the days vary. Every day is not the same. It's not like a 9 to 5 where I know every other Friday I'm getting this amount of money. Like I know this is coming in.
Right.
It's something pretty much where you have to know where one day you might make a big chunk, next day you might not make nothing or whatever. But
Right.
it's the drive to keep going and keep putting stuff out there because you never know who's going to see you. You know,
Right.
yeah.
I see your paddle. It looks like it's like has like wear and tear. Like,
Yeah.
is that like just old or is just like usage?
No, it's been on a lot of asses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very tasty, cheesy, oniony, all of the above. One word to describe it, scrumptious, right? We from the town, so we just gonna say pause first, but it melts in your mouth. You just love it. You know what I'm saying? I wear this shirt to sleep. How much I love 7th Street Burger, man. It's near and dear to my heart. You see the logo? It's near to my heart. That's how we do it, man. Peace.
This is my reparations paddle. It was custom made when I first started.
Reparations paddle.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So it was custom made when I first started. And it was completely clean, none of those scratches or anything. And over the years, it packs a punch. It packs a punch, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
So then, do you have like a menu or like what do people order from you? Like,
Oh wow, I actually do have a menu.
okay.
So it's called. So I have 2 menus. I have a
Right.
menu called an upkeep menu. So the upkeep menu is what you can pay me to upkeep things in my life. So on that menu, it will have my rent, my utilities, stuff for my dog, my Roth IRA, my like dungeon donations for the dungeon I have in Brooklyn, stocks, like all that different type of stuff. So that's my
Right.
upkeep
Can you
menu.
put like sponsorship conversation with Zoe? We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, we'll add that up
Talk about
there.
that another time.
But so I have that menu. So that's the menu for like, because sometimes I'll get men come in my inbox like, oh, I want to send you money, but I want to send for a certain thing. So it's good to have that menu. Then I have just my regular session menu, which is like where I offer humiliation, SPH, which is small penis humiliation. You have some men that want to be made of like their penises being small. Like foot worship, things of that nature is like that type of menu.
Right.
Yeah.
With the SPH, are you ever like, are you in character or is it like you don't really care? Like,
I'm not in character. It's not that I'm in character or I don't care. It's just I think small dicks are funny. So it's natural to me. It's no type of character. So like when I see like if someone wants me to rate their small penis and they send like a picture, automatically I'm gonna like go in about it. And it's not even like part of the like really a job for me. It's funny. Comes
Right.
natural to make fun of that.
right. So then who do you look for sex?
So I am very much so attracted to. So this is gonna sound weird because I am dominant, but in my personal life, I'm attracted to alpha black men. So I love
Cute
black
dogs and shit
men.
like that.
I mean, I've talked to a couple cute dogs in the past.
Right.
But I went to a
Cousin is
HBCU. That's all I saw.
I'm not gonna say your name, but you know my boy. Look at you, boy.
But I'm very much so into black men that are, I won't say like not dominant in the sense of you're not about to be calling me names and doing all that crazy shit.
Right.
But like dominant in the sense of you're a leader, you got your business together, you got your money together, stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Adds value.
Yeah.
Value is a very triggering word for some people.
Yeah.
Who don't really have much emotion. So we're just gonna call it motion. Get some motion. You know what I'm saying? That's all
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
start
say.
using that. Get some motion
Get some
in your
motion.
life.
You know what I mean? So, do you have an OG?
So there is someone that I do look up to.
Right.
So her name is Madam Caramel. She also goes by Nubian Matriarch. So she's a black woman she's in London.
Okay.
And she's just amazing. She has like 3 dungeons there. She runs this thing every year, this big ball every year in October called Femdom Ball.
Right.
And doms from all over the world come to this ball. We dress in gowns. I went last year. We dress in gowns. We bring subs or slaves, as some people call them.
Slaves.
Yeah. So it's like, it's a big event literally where the men there aren't even allowed to look at us. Like she makes them line up on the wall with their head down like the whole time.
Wow.
And
they
she's
flew
so powerful.
themselves to London to look down at the floor.
Yeah. Or some of them are already from over there. So
Okay.
like it's people from all over that I've met. Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
So, how's your dating life been in this line of work?
So my dating life is great. I'm actually dating somebody right now.
All right.
We've been seeing each other for the past 6 months.
Right.
So the good thing about it is that this is not a lifestyle I have from him. So he knows about the lifestyle. He's actually been to some of my events to help me like set up and stuff like that.
Right.
And he's very open. So I got lucky because my dating life before him, I've dealt with a lot of
Insecure men.
Yes, that's the word I'm
Right.
looking for. Insecure
knew
men.
it.
Definitely.
I'm like right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah.
And you see it, you know?
Yeah.
So with the others before him,
hmm
what was it about them that was like, this is not for you?
I think for them, I don't even think it was like the kink part because a lot of them understood that I was in charge and I was, like humiliating men and doing things of that nature and not having sex. I think it came down to like the money that I was making versus what they were making.
Right.
And they were like, I could tell there was insecurities there.
Right.
Cause like once they started with like start dating me and seeing my lifestyle that I'm traveling, and when I travel, I do like luxury and do first class and all these nice hotels and stuff like that, and even just like, just how I live and all the bags I have and stuff, I felt like they maybe were intimidated or felt like they couldn't like keep up with that.
Right.
So that I feel like that was mostly the issue.
But do you share? Like,
What do you mean? Do I share?
with your man? Like,
What am I sharing?
I mean, you get into the bag.
Right.
So like, if you're first class, am I first? I mean, not me, but I'm saying, is he first class too? Yeah.
Well, he needs to buy my first class.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not breaking bread.
It depends on what it is.
Birthdays,
Birthdays, Christmas,
Valentine's Day.
I'm a foodie too, so I'm one of those people that I'll recommend the craziest restaurant and it's fine. Like I'll go there, I'll cover whatever.
All right.
With certain stuff. Like if I go out my way and recommend stuff, because I also know when it comes to dating me, I'm one of those people that's here all the time.
Right.
I'm not somebody that's like, oh, well, we can go here every so often. Every week I'm like, I want to try this place. I want to try this place. I want to try this place.
Right.
So I know like dating me comes with having to be very adventurous
Right.
and willing to do a lot of the things I like to do. So sometimes it's like, okay, I'll make sacrifices for it because I'm really going out of my way to do something crazy.
Right.
Like I'm the type of person where like we'll wake up in the morning and spa date right off the bat, then we going shopping, then we going out to eat, then we going to some speakeasy. Like I like to just do stuff like all day. So, but for the most part, no, I'm not sharing.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't have a problem picking up the bill here and there.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Here and there. That's here and there.
Yeah.
A win's a win. You know what I mean? A win's a win.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel bad?
Bad for what?
I mean, all right. Now you're probably immune to it. Like you're probably numb to it. But was it ever like, oh, I maybe went too hard on him, or maybe
no? Because those conversations I always had beforehand regarding consent and what they can handle and can't handle. And, there might have been times in sessions where maybe there was something that needed to be stopped. And, that's when we give like the safe words and let me know if it's too much and you're supposed to adhere to that. But I never feel bad, no. I actually feel great. It gives me power. Like I just...
Right. What are some examples of safe words?
So a safe word can be a word that y'all agree upon. So it can be like pineapples, pickles, or it can be like in BDSM, we have like the stoplight thing. So red is stop, yellow is like slow down, proceed with caution, check in, and then green is like go. So we can use that basic one too.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a strap on?
Yes, I do.
So do you like peg men too?
Yes, I do.
Right. I love your smile.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
That just excited me.
It's radiant. Oh, man.
That was my favorite question so far.
I mean, listen, I think
they're all great questions, but that one was really
right. A little improv never hurt, But what does your family think of your career path?
So my family is very accepting. They like in the beginning, my mom and dad were more so scared of my safety.
Right.
So they were just like, who are you like meeting with? Are these people crazy? Do they find your information online? And then when my mom started to see like the teaching element I was really doing, because I've done a lot, like I've taught women. Every year I do a holiday toy drive for sex workers with kids that need toys for Christmas. I do that every year. We do a back to school drive where I help people like, so when she started seeing like the philanthropy in it and like all the stuff I was doing for the community, she was like, oh, like this is really different than what I've ever seen. But they're super supportive. In 2 weeks, I'm doing my first shoot with Playboy for a spread. So they're like excited for that.
Right.
My dad's just like, let us know how it goes or whatever. So they're very supportive. And I'm lucky for that because a lot of sex workers do not, like if their family knew what they were doing, they'd probably get kicked out, shunned, all that stuff. So that's a privilege I definitely acknowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Tati, you good? Okay.
What's the longest he's been like that?
Maybe like an hour and a half. Yeah, hour and a half. Yeah.
Oh, another Tati story. So when I met you in the hallway and I was like talking to you and like, hey, I'd like to interview you, have you on my podcast. And I'm like, he can come too. He's like, yeah, I'll be there. You were like, did I tell you to speak?
Sometimes I gotta tell him to get back in his place. Yeah.
Don't say nothing.
Tati can be a bad boy sometimes.
Right.
He knows how to act.
Is he like your bottom bitch?
Oh, he's definitely my bottom bitch.
Your number one?
My number one.
I love that for you.
The best sub I've ever had, actually.
Wow.
So I know the other subs watching this are probably over it. But I say what I said.
Are your former subs, your ex subs, like disgruntled baby mamas, like old? You know what I mean? Like
no,
Irv Gotti energy.
No.
Like, you know what I mean?
So any type of relationship or dynamic that ended with a sub is never something where it was like bad. You know what I'm saying? It's something where either they moved, I moved, their jobs changed, and they couldn't put too much energy into this anymore. You know what I'm saying? So like, It's never anything where something so horrible happened that I just had to like tell them to get the fuck away from me.
Right.
You know? And a lot of them too, if I was to hit them back up for a certain event or whatever, if they could do it, they'll run to come do it. Yeah.
You should have a reunion of the subs.
Oh my God. That'd be hilarious. I have subs all over though, so it would be like a different states type reunion.
Cool. I mean, once a year, like a once a year summit.
Oh, that would be crazy.
You know?
And they all have to fight for my attention.
Right. And it could be reality TV.
Like a competition.
Right. You know?
That would be crazy.
We should do a vlog one day. Like
We
let
should.
me do a vlog of you, like day in the life.
Oh,
you know, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be crazy.
Conversation was up.
That'd be crazy.
We do vlogs now. I'm saying we're lit.
Okay. Y'all get some motion.
We get some motion. We get some motion. So let's go through some tweets, right?
Okay. Oh God.
These mother effers want to sleep in your house for free with no tribute, vetting form, relationship build, nothing.
Period. I just talked about this yesterday.
Hell yeah.
Yes, because one sub. So the thing about Findom Twitter is that it's just like any type of other social media. There's debates, there's arguments, there's pettiness, there's good moments, there's bad moments. So, you know, I had tweeted about like how I'm house hunting because I'm moving back to North Carolina.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm house hunting and, you know, there was a few girls that were just like, you should have a sub do that. And I'm like, why would I have a sub need to know all my personal information? Like house hunting is personal.
Right.
Like why would I want them to know exactly where I live? All the information. So I put that out there. So there's this one sub that commented on it. He was like, well, you fake doms don't know what it is to be a real dom. Real doms have subs sleep in their house and like all this stuff. Which there are doms that, it's called 24/7 servitude or like domestic servitude. Like there are doms that have subs sleep in their homes, which is their decision, which is fine. But that's not what I do, right? So, you know, that's when I posted that. I was like, y'all want to stay in people's house? You ain't sent no tribute, no money, no relationship bill, nothing. You think I'm going to just let you pull up in my house because you a sub? Like, That's not how that works. So I'm really big on my private time and my like space. I don't play about that.
Right. Is Tati going to move with you?
No, Tati's not moving with me. But Tati will be coming to visit to help me with some things, some domestic servitude and stuff. So, yeah.
Right. How'd you find Tati?
So I actually found Tati through another podcast. So I got like a last minute request to do a podcast and they wanted a sub. And my sub, at the time that I was using, like he was out of town, couldn't do it. So I just put like an ad out on this website called FetLife. So FetLife is like the fetish website where all of us go. You can see a lot of crazy shit up there. You can go like look in events and I'm pretty sure there's like a gangbang orgy happening in a hotel room somewhere. Like it's all types of stuff up there. And I put an ad out for looking for like a sub just to be human furniture, put my feet up, be part of the podcast. Yeah, that's what it's called. That's what the kink is called.
You remember the first time you put your feet up?
Actually, no, I don't.
Right.
I've done it so many times now.
Right.
Yeah. So I put the ad out and Tati was like replied to the ad. And you know, sometimes a lot of us in this industry, we see certain subs as time wasters. So I didn't know like if he was going to be a time waster because it was so last minute. I was like, well, either way I'm doing the podcast, you know, hope you show up or whatever. And he showed up and he was like at the podcast waiting for like, what, an hour before I even got there. Right. And when I get there, the first thing he hands me is $100 bill shaped in a heart. Right. And it was just the little things, like, you know, like the fact that he did that and just handed it to me as a gift or whatever when he could have just showed up and like, I'm here. Right. And ever since then, we've been rocking together. So, yeah.
Right. Does he get like petted or?
Tati gets petted, spanked, kiss my boots, all that different type of stuff.
Can I pet him?
Tati, do you want to be pet? Do you consent to it? Yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
That was cool. I mean,
That was
you know,
that was more like a shoulder tap.
yeah, that was a little shoulder tap. You know what I'm saying? First time, you know. Can't go too crazy, you know. I don't like people in my personal bubble. You don't know me beyond the internet and what I decide to show.
Yep. So, one thing I learned about being a personal figure in this industry is that I'm a personal figure in a space that was lacking it before, like a Black woman.
Right.
So there were always Black women that were dominatrix, that were out there, whatever. But there weren't a lot of Black women dominatrix that were more like mainstream like me, viral, teaching openly, like not gatekeeping pretty much, right? Because like even my courses are only $5. Like you're not going to really get that anywhere else.
Right.
So within that, you know, I get a lot of people that follow me. And sometimes I'll post other non-dom stuff. Like I went glamping the other day on Governor's Island. I posted about that. Like when I go out to eat, I'll post. When I travel, I post. But then there's some people that I feel like they see that and they feel like they know me personally and they just start asking personal stuff or like, when did you go? When are you going again? Like stuff like that. I'm like, you don't know me beyond the internet. So that's why I posted that. Because sometimes a lot of people can just really just cross that line of what they can ask me, what they shouldn't ask me.
Right.
And, you know, sometimes I get it. They want to feel like they have a friend that's in this because a lot of Black women come into this alone. So, like, I'm that person that they can look at like, oh, well, she's like me. She looks like me. She's dark-skinned like me. Like, you know, whatever.
Right.
But sometimes you got to let people know, like, look, you're doing too much.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Like, what's the Doja Cat?
Oh, no. Doja Cat was different, though. Doja Cat was...
Yeah, that was so... I only saw, like, the... on the surface stuff.
She blanked on them.
Yeah,
No, she...
From what I've seen, it was a lot.
Yeah,
a lot,
yeah.
She lost like 500,000 followers, something like that.
And I don't think she cares.
I don't think she cares.
She don't give a fuck.
She's there already.
Yeah.
So, like doms can be self-sufficient as well. Not everything
Hold on
has
one
to
second.
involve-
Tati, you good? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you know, checking in.
Yeah.
Can I ask him if he's okay?
Yeah, sure.
Tati, you okay, bro? Thumbs up. All right. Like doms can be self-sufficient as well. Not everything has to involve having a sub for it. My whole life does not revolve around being a dominatrix.
Yeah. Some people think I can't do things by myself, or they're so like caught up in my image of she has a sub for this, subs are paying for this, subs are doing that they feel like anything else that I might tweet about is like, well, you should have a sub for that. So for instance, like I think one time I tweeted I was gonna go like grocery shopping at Trader Joe's. That's my favorite grocery store. You should have a sub go do it. Like, but sometimes you just like to go do your own shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, everything to me does not have to be so submissive centered. Like, I can be self-sufficient. I don't need it. Like, sometimes I might want to put a coffee table together just so I can feel like I'm doing something. And they'll be like, you should have got a sub for that. I'm just like, I didn't need that. You know, like I was self-sufficient before I was a dominatrix, and I'm still going to be that person. Like, yeah, there are some tasks where I will hit a sub up, like, can you complete this task? But for the most part, I like my days to myself, especially my personal days, you know, so.
What do you wear to go to Trader Joe's?
Just like some leggings, t-shirt maybe.
Okay.
Jumpsuit, something.
Right.
Something real incognito, hat.
Right. Shades?
No, I ain't doing all that. No.
Right. So, once again, my DMs are flooded with people asking for tips, advice, classes, etc. Reminder that I do not teach in DMs. To access my courses, classes, mentoring, Discord groups, read this thread.
You really getting in there. You got the good tweets.
Come on. I gotta show all sides of you, you know?
Yeah, so that's just more so like me saying, you know, I took years to build my platform.
Right.
And do everything I do now. And, you know, I'm a name. My time is very limited. Like I have requests for brand stuff, for all this different type of things going on, travel, like hosting things. So when people come in my DM, I get so many DMs of teach me. And I can't stand the DMs that just say teach me, because to me, those are just like, you didn't even try to like, hey, how you doing? Nothing.
Right.
So I get so many DMs like that it just got to the point where I'm like, I built platforms for you to go learn. So you can go sign up yourself. You don't really need to like have too much interaction with me unless you want to do like one-on-one mentoring or whatever.
Right.
And then you can just go learn from me. Because I don't like to teach through DMs, because then I'll be sitting there for free all day. Just, you know, it's too much.
What do you call your mentees? Do they have a name?
No, they're just...
Like the Marleys?
No. They're just mentees.
Just mentees.
Yeah.
Something, you know, we can relate to, mentees.
Yeah.
So, why are y'all so kind to me? Like, it's crazy, because around this time, 2 years ago, people were working hard to try to bring my brand, and they didn't succeed. universe really got me covered.
Yeah.
Right.
So 2 years ago, there were a group of doms
Right.
that were basically trying to like just bring my brand down, just saying that my classes were a scam and I wasn't a real dom, like all this different type of stuff. And I noticed it would always happen around the times where I went viral. Like it just
Right.
never failed. So just dealing with haters and stuff.
Were these other black women?
They were. It was white women too.
Okay.
But it's sad that majority that were leading were black women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do white doms look like Karens? Like I'm trying to like picture that. Like
They don't look like Karens. They come in all different
right.
looks and shapes and stuff.
Do the white doms walk black men?
So I haven't seen that a lot.
I pray not.
I haven't seen that a lot.
Fucking valid.
I haven't seen that a lot, but I've seen like there have been discussions around black men and white doms and black men being slaves to them and how that's just like pretty much like a race play thing. There's a lot of like controversy behind that type of stuff.
Right.
I haven't seen it personally. I feel like if I saw it on my timeline, I'd probably just like block, mute. Like I don't want to see that.
Right.
But it's definitely out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about the universe,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to tell a little quick story.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened to me a couple times already. But when you get in tune with your energy
Mm-hmm.
and the universe and what you put out and what you receive, yesterday I went and bought a salad at a spot by my job, and the salad was $13.50. I gave him $15, right? He was only supposed to give me $1.50 back. He gave me $6.50,
Mm-hmm.
right? A single of 5 and 50 cents. So I gave him the 5 back, and the guy behind me looked at me. He's like, "Yo, you're a good man." And I told him, "You know how much that $5 would have cost me, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And when you get in tune with when you do wrong and how it comes back to you,
Yep.
I would have lost way more than those $5, and that $5 is not gonna change my life. And I gotta understand that when they check the cash register later, he's gonna be held accountable for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that little $5 that didn't change my life cost somebody else maybe their job or who knows, or for people to look at him funny, all over nothing.
Yeah.
So guys, pay attention to the universe, pay attention to your energy, pay attention to the little petty things that you think is a win is not a win.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose way more than that in the end.
Yeah. I literally tweeted about universal karma the other
Right.
day because I'm very spiritual.
Yes, ma'am.
That's another part of me that a lot of people don't know about because I don't put it out there as much.
Right.
But I'm very spiritual, especially with like African spirituality. Like I have tattooed, I'm the daughter of Oshun.
Right.
I deal a lot with like energy and stuff like that. Like you said, being in tune and just knowing what's meant for you. So I tell people universal karma is the thing. Like you think no one is watching, like something's always watching.
Something's always watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So stop overthinking being a bad bitch. Just exist. Just do it.
That's a good segue.
I don't go places with the intentions of being spoiled, catered for, etc. It just happens naturally.
Yeah. So for me, that's just what I said. Like, stop overthinking being a bad bitch. I think some women go like into spots, especially these spots around the city where we might go to see like other rich men that are there, certain like areas or whatever, where wealthy men might be. And sometimes they just overthink what they should wear, what they should look like, how I should sit at the bar. Should I be smiling? Should I be like on my phone? Like, it's just too many overthinking things. Right. So I'm one of those people where I just walk in, like I don't overthink, like I don't sit and be pressed about if I'm going to be spoiled, if somebody's going to spend their money on me, because, there's some women that will literally hang out at the bar waiting for that. And I'm just like, when you a bad bitch, it just comes naturally. Like, stop overthinking it,
Right.
Yeah.
Does Tati see a chiropractor like regularly?
Tati, do you see a chiropractor regularly? No. Mm-mm.
How does the foam roll, Pilates?
Just an active person, or just the power of my boots.
Right.
Makes him strong.
Right. Do your thing, Tati. So I edited the screenshot, but took some. I wanted to ask you first because I'm not trying to. I'm not no. You know what I'm saying? We're not the ops over here.
Yeah.
But Mistress Marley,
Mm-hmm.
I sent tribute. Are you available for a drain session this evening? I just feel like my money would look better in your account.
Yeah. That's a conversation that happened last week.
Right.
So you'll have subs that will send tribute. So tribute is just the amount they send to speak to you. and to not acknowledge that they appreciate you. So that can be like $40, $50. And then what we do sometimes is something called a drain. So a drain is when you take certain amounts from them in a short amount of time.
Right.
So like say I could in 1 hour drain a sub of $1,000, like in an hour. So that's pretty much what that is. And that's what he was approaching about.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, drain session.
Yeah, drain session.
I thought drain session was something else,
Mm-mm.
but yeah, I mean, you drained it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have to say pause for this one either. So
No, you don't.
it's pretty cool. You know? So, is Marley a character, or is that who you really are?
I think it's half and half. So I think Marley is like me when I'm being addressed by my clients and my students and when I'm doing events. But I think the personality that Marley holds is me. The dominance, the being in control, the knowing what I want, the knowing what shit I won't take from people, knowing that I deserve everything I want and everything that's coming for me. And just knowing that I'm that girl, you know?
Right.
Like I've never, like I said, ever since I was a little girl, I've always been very confident in myself. I've never had low self-esteem.
Right.
One of the main questions I get from students in this industry is, how did you build the confidence? Like, was this hard for you? And that's a question that I can't answer with how I think they want me to answer. Like, I feel like they want me to answer like, yeah, well, I used to be like this.
Right,
and I answer out the bat. Like, I've always been confident since I was like a little girl, you know? So,
right.
It's just me.
What's that thing, like that little red ball that goes in?
A ball gag?
Okay. Yeah. So then, does everyone like keep their own personal bag, or is like bring your own toys?
So
BYOT.
So for the most part, I have all my own tools, and we clean them, sanitize them, things like that.
Right.
But if a sub has special tools they want to be used during session or anything, I encourage them to bring them, or I encourage them to send me the money so I can purchase them. I'm never going to purchase it with my own money.
Right.
But yeah, it varies.
Right. Do you pay retail for them, or is it like a different?
So my best friend, Goddess Rue, she owns a sex toy business called Pleasurable Seductions.
Right.
And I get all my stuff from her. So I got it easy like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Any bad experiences?
Bad experiences? No, I've had some embarrassing experiences. Like I was pegging somebody one time and I didn't realize there was a lot of lube and oil on the floor and I slipped.
Oh, wow.
But I don't think they noticed I slipped because the room was dark and I had music playing. So they I don't think they noticed. If they did, they didn't tell me.
Right.
But that's like an embarrassing moment I had.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it like white men getting pegged to keep sweat? Like,
no, it's like white men getting like pegged to like Megan Thee Stallion,
oh shit,
Doja Cat, Nicki. Like I like to listen to a lot of like rap.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Women's
makes
rap,
more sense
yeah.
because you like, yeah, that's like, you know, you about to go do a drill.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be sensual over here. We ain't making love. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So you got to save the keep sweat for your man.
Yeah.
And you listening to, you know, Eve and all that.
Yeah.
You might want to add that if you don't got it. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I feel you. I feel you. Is this a form of women empowerment?
Yes, it definitely is. I feel like it's the ultimate form of women's empowerment. I feel like in mainstream media, we've seen women's empowerment as like, you know, you see it like going to brunches or business expos and like stuff like that. No shade to those events because I've been to those events and they're great events. I throw brunches myself, but we just whoop ass at our brunches.
Right, you got to talk about those brunches.
Yeah.
I saw tables.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of tatis everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But this is the ultimate form of like women's empowerment. It's us being empowered in a way that society is telling us not to be empowered. So we're just taking that back. But yeah, the brunches are lit. I throw them in different cities. My most recent one was in Atlanta in July. And it's just a place where women of all races, mostly Black women come, but I open it to everybody. And I bring other subs there. And it's for women that have never in their life even spanked anybody.
Right.
They get to do it. So whether they leave wanting it to be a career or not, they got to try something new, you know? So I love it. They're fun. Yeah.
So there's never any situations where you have sex with any subs?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
In my full time doing this, never.
Right. So they just want to be
humiliated,
destroyed.
Psychologically humiliated, maybe emotionally humiliated, physically for sure, spanked, all the different things.
Are we allowed to talk about their job titles or who they are? Like,
I can't talk about like their like. Of course, I can't say names, but I've had like CEOs. I've had Wall Street. I've had Wall Street men. Yeah, I've had Wall Street men.
LinkedIn titles, you know?
Yeah, I've had Wall Street men. I've had some athletes, professional athletes.
What sport? Football. It got to be football.
Both football and basketball.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had just your regular average Joes. You know, it just varies. You never know who you pass on the street.
Right.
Who might be a sub.
Right.
Yeah.
True. I might be looking like, damn, that nigga like a sub.
You would never know because a lot of the CEOs and stuff, they're so powerful in their jobs, but when they come see me,
right,
not at all.
Right. So, mistress is never madame, right? Mistress.
It's mistress, yeah.
Okay. So, we're pretty much at the end, but what would be your message to your younger self?
Wow, never gotten this question. You got some good ass questions.
Thank you so much, mistress.
I knew that was a laugh to go because I was like, a message to my younger self would be to stop overthinking.
Right.
Because even though I was confident, I always used to overthink how I was going to do certain things. Stop overthinking. Just always go with your gut. Always go with your intuition. If something seems wrong, stay away from it.
Right.
And don't give people second chances just because you feel like you should. So there's been times where I've had close friends or friends that I feel like did me wrong, and I feel like I should give them a second chance just because they're a friend. And I've learned to stop doing that because people will keep disrespecting you as long as you allow it. So,
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Message to inspiring doms.
Get your money up front, sis. When I first started out, I was not adhering to that half deposit rule and I was losing a lot of money. Get your money up front. If something seems too good to be true, most likely it is. And try to keep a community. Try to talk to other doms. If someone around you is into this, try to be friends with them, get to know them, because community is everything. Because this is an industry where a lot of us feel alone. Because I can't just pull up somewhere and start talking to somebody about this and think they're going to be like, okay.
Right.
They're going to be like, huh? So, find those people where you can talk to them and they're like, okay, yeah, I get that, Yeah.
And is there like a no, like not like a block list, like guys who are like banned?
Yeah, so we have that and we share it amongst each other in the community. So we
like
keep each other
Excel
safe.
spreadsheet that's like updated and stuff like that? Or?
Not a spreadsheet, more so just like in conversation. So we ask each other like, hey, this sub wants to session with me. Have you sessioned with him before? Do you know about this person? So we kind of just talk within our circles like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you've been on a lot of big platforms.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to come on Conversation with Zoe?
I wanted to come on Conversations with Zoe because it's different than the other platforms I've been on. So I feel like a lot of the other platforms I was on was mainly very sex heavy based, relationship talk based, like let's do something that's shock factor talk based, where this was more so just like really, I could see you really want to get to know who the person is.
Yes,
it's more inspirational, aspirational, definitely motivational for sure.
Right.
So that's what stood out to me because I've been on a lot of podcasts where it's like the same sex questions, it's the same, whatever, which they're great podcasts and they gave me like, great exposure. But this one was different for me. Yeah. And to see that from a man.
Right.
Was different.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah.
Thank you, mistress.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. So, shout out your websites, your Instagrams. I follow the other ones as well.
Okay.
Let us know where we can find you.
So I'm on Instagram, House of Marley. House is spelled Haus of Marley. Instagram deletes me a lot. So if you see me gone, I have a backup. It's official Mistress Marley. I'm also on Twitter, Eyes X on Fire. So eyes like your eyeballs, X on Fire. That's where I post everything that I can post, like that I can't post on everything else.
Okay.
The crazy shit is up there. My events are more so posted up there. So those are pretty much my top 2 that I'm on. Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm glad I caught you before you moved.
Yes.
You always have a friend in me. You know what I'm saying? We got each other's number.
Thank you.
Always welcome. You know, let's do the vlog someday.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And I always say, listen, y'all tapping in with me, bro. But like, subscribe, comment, hit me up for some merch. Shout out to 7th Street Burger. We got a subscriber day coming up where y'all get to come out if you subscribe, or you can subscribe on the spot for 1 hour and get free burgers and chill with your boy.
Oh, wait a minute.
Doing big things out here.
Might gotta come to that.
Hit me up for some ads, hit me up for some commercials, hit me up for some drips. We out. Peace. And shout out to WTF Media Studios, the home of WTF Zoe. You heard? Yeah. Peace and love, world. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, support the channel, show your love. You know what I'm saying? We have a great conversation week in and week out. You never know who's coming. You never know what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, it's all about peace and love. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment.